was shucked from week one. But I think Todd Monken realizes once we get into the training camp setting, somebody's going to step up and somebody's going to step off. And you need to be ready for both guys to play. That's the other thing, too. How many quarterbacks go wire to wire? So whoever the loser is going to have a chance to come in and play, more likely than not, at some point this season. Do you have a gut feeling as to who you think it's going to be? I know that our friend Mary Kay Cabot originally thought it was going to be Deshaun Watson, and they should just make that decision now and get him ready. I think organizationally, they'd probably rather be Shedeur, because Watson's in the last year of his contract, and who the hell knows what the future would look like with him as a starting quarterback after paying him $230 million over 5 years. But I don't know. Do you have a gut feeling so far based on what we've seen and heard?
Well, I know Todd Monken previously said that he wanted to name a starter before training camp, so that starter got the first team reps, and now it's completely changed. And it's changed for a reason, Mike. And as you said, maybe it was that Shedeur played his way into the competition going into training camp. Maybe he played that well in the offseason to make it a real competition. So I think, if you look at the Browns are not winning the Super Bowl this year, right? Deshaun Watson's in the last year of his contract. He's almost certainly not coming back, I wouldn't think. I guess if he went out and had a great season, then they would re-sign him. But the chances of him returning are not good. So why wouldn't it be Shedeur? Why wouldn't you see another year of him to find out if he is your quarterback in the future? And if you stink, guess what? You get a high pick, and it looks like it's going to be a great draft for quarterbacks next year. Good for you. Then you have your quarterback next year if you can pick the right one, which they've had a lot of trouble doing, as we know. But I think you go with Shedeur for those reasons, that Deshaun's a short-term guy here. It was a wasted signing. It's going to be a wasted signing because you're not going to win a Super Bowl with him this year. So go cast your lot with Shedeur, see what he can do for another season, and then you decide, is he your quarterback in the future, or do we need to go get a quarterback in next year's draft?
Last point before we break. I remember seeing some video from the early stages of the offseason program, and it was a simple little play where the quarterback got the snap, did a fake pitch, and then went into his drop. And there was a level of attention to detail that Deshaun Watson was displaying that was far more crisp and deliberate and intentional than Shedeur Sanders. I can't help but wonder, and this is all speculation, but it would fit with what I know of Todd Monken and what I've observed of Shedeur Sanders. I wouldn't be surprised if Shedeur Sanders was falling behind Deshaun Watson, and at some point there was a conversation, a very candid, frank conversation between Todd Monken and Shedeur Sanders about what he needs to do to take that job, and you have it in you. But you can't. It's not about just showing up on game day. You have to put in all the work. You have to do everything, and it's going to make you even better on game day. You think you're good now on game day when you're lackadaisical about your prep. You start locking in on your prep, and you're going to reach a new level of performance. And if you trust me on that, I'll trust you to close this gap and maybe take this job. That's completely plausible to me, that there was a frank heart-to-heart that maybe has unlocked Shedeur Sanders. And if so, that's very good news for the Browns. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.
Dawg Pound, this quarterback battle in Cleveland just got a whole lot more interesting. A few weeks ago, it felt like Deshaun Watson had the inside track. It felt like the Browns were preparing to give the veteran one more clean shot, one more chance to prove he could still be the guy. But now the entire tone around this competition has changed because Shedeur Sanders is not just hanging around anymore, he is closing the gap. And that is the part Browns fans need to pay attention to. Todd Monken confirmed that he does not plan to name a Week 1 starting quarterback anytime soon, and that alone tells you everything. If Deshaun had completely separated from the race, this decision would already feel obvious. If Shedeur was just a developmental backup, this competition would not still be alive. But Monken is keeping the door open because Shedeur has forced him to keep watching. According to the reports from Browns practice, the optics have changed from the sideline. Watson was first in line early, getting the bulk of competitive reps with the #1 offense. But over the last 2 open practices, Shedeur has been the primary quarterback with the first group. That does not automatically mean he is QB1, but it absolutely means this is not the same competition it looked like back in April. And Shedeur is not just getting reps, he is doing something with them. Reports say he had another strong day Tuesday, hitting deep completions to Isaiah Bond, Casey Concepcion, and Denzel Boston. That matters, because for a young quarterback, confidence is not built in press conferences. It is built by making throws when coaches are watching, when teammates are reacting, when every rep is being measured. And right now, Shedeur is giving this staff something real to think about. The most important phrase from all of this is simple. At first, it seemed like Deshaun Watson was a lock, but Shedeur has made it a game. That is the story. That is the shift. That is why Browns fans are buzzing. Because Cleveland has been desperate for a quarterback who can grow with the team, bring energy, and give this franchise a future that feels bigger than just another one-year reset. Deshaun still has the experience, he still has the name, he still has the veteran advantage, but Shedeur has something Watson may not have right now: momentum. And in a quarterback competition, momentum can change everything. When a young player starts carrying himself differently, throwing with more accuracy, attacking the field with more confidence, and earning first-team reps, the locker room notices, the coaches notice, the fan base notices. And this is where the Browns' bigger picture becomes impossible to ignore. This roster is getting younger. The team is moving into a new era under Todd Monken. If the Browns are truly trying to build something for the future, then Shedeur Sanders has to get every real chance to win this job. Not because of his last name, not because of hype, but because he is on a rookie contract, he is developing, and if the growth is real, Cleveland cannot afford to bury it. This is also about identity. Monken is not just choosing who throws the first pass in Week 1, he is choosing what kind of Browns offense he wants to build. With Shedeur, you're talking about a quarterback who can grow with players like Denzel Boston, Casey Concepcion, Isaiah Bond, Harold Fannin Jr., Quinshawn Judkins, and Dylan Sampson. That gives Cleveland a young Browns offensive core with speed, toughness, and upside. It gives the Dawg Pound something to believe in beyond survival. But let's be honest, training camp is where this gets real. Minicamp buzz is nice, practice reports are exciting, deep throws in June can turn heads, but in late July and August, when the pads come on, when the pressure rises, when the defense starts disguising looks and every mistake gets magnified, that is when Shedeur has to prove this is more than a spring storyline. And maybe that is exactly why Monken is waiting. Maybe he wants to see who shows up with the no days off mentality, who organizes throwing sessions, who builds chemistry during the break, who comes into camp looking like the leader of the offense. Because this is not just about arm talent, it is about command, it is about ownership, it is about whether the quarterback can walk into the huddle and make everyone believe. So no, Shedeur Sanders has not been handed the job. Deshaun Watson has not lost it yet, but the gap has closed. The competition has changed. And for the first time, it feels like Shedeur is not just fighting for reps, he is fighting for the future of the Cleveland Browns. Dawg Pound, the question now is simple. If Shedeur keeps stacking strong practices, keeps hitting explosive throws, and keeps carrying himself like QB1, how long can the Browns keep him on the sideline? Because right now, Todd Monken is watching, the locker room is watching, and the entire AFC North might be watching the beginning of something Cleveland has been waiting for far too long.